Governor Scott is trying to calm the fears of the thousands of visitors who are about to converge on Tampa for the Republican convention.
Channel 4's Mike Vasalinda is joining us now live from Tallahassee with more on the governor's optimistic message for delegates. Mike?
Hey, good evening, Mary. Hello, everyone. Well, the Republican National Convention is a $55 million production, and Republicans' worst nightmare is a hurricane hitting Tampa during their convention. They want delegates in the chairs to cheer, so the governor started at 6:30 this morning telling everyone in America that everything is going to be okay.
Rick Scott appeared on 3 morning network news shows letting the world know the Republican National Convention and Florida were open for business and we're going to stay that way.
We're going to have a great convention. We've got the National Guard ready, so we'll be ready for it. I mean, we're used to this. The positive is it's continuing to go west, so I think people are relieved with that.
Then 5 hours and an updated forecast later, the governor continued to project the idea that everything convention and Isaac related was under control.
We're continuing to be optimistic that we won't have any issues in the Tampa area.
The State Emergency Operations Center is at a level 2, exactly where it would be for the Republican National Convention if there weren't a tropical storm bearing down on the state.
Governor Rick Scott still has plans to arrive at the convention in Tampa on Sunday, which is an indication that he doesn't feel like he's going to need to be here to direct recovery efforts.
Convention-going delegates unfamiliar with tropical weather will be receiving information packets containing do's and don'ts.
I want to make sure they understand what a riptide is, how to recognize the signs of it, so if they hear messaging about it, they understand what that means.
The National Guard remains ready to be called upon.
We have as many that has ever responded, whether it be Hurricane Andrew or the hurricanes of 04 and 05.
Convention goers are still expected to get wet, but the state is hoping that it will just give them something else to talk about in a positive way when they get back home.
And we asked the governor today if he has heard of any wholesale cancellations of delegates deciding to stay home. The answer was no, that's not happening. He's also talked to the airlines who are telling him they will continue to fly folks to Tampa and the rest of Florida as long as they're able to stay in the skies. Mary?
Mike, it was 20 years ago today, the anniversary of Hurricane Andrew. I understand you were just talking to the governor about his role during that storm.
Right, he was the CEO of a hospital chain, and he had several hospitals in Miami, 2 of which were damaged very badly. So he was flying into the state almost immediately after Hurricane Andrew had passed. I asked him, and he got those hospitals back open, had to move people in. I asked him if that experience is helping him with this, which is really his first major effort at directing storm damage control, and he said absolutely. He said you define a problem, then you figure out how to solve it. And so far he seems to be on top of this storm.
Well, it's certainly hard to believe it's been 20 years. All right, Mike Vasalinda, thank you, Mike.